I'm fucking having sex today, no matter what. So literally, I went over to his house and was like,
hello guys, we are gonna have a short podcast today about relationships. What are you doing?
I never spoken to a camera before.
Oh my god. You guys are watching the two most experienced people here. I'm just kidding.
Like experience as in being single?
You're talking to the person who's been single the longest here.
Yeah, I've been single for like 25 years in total.
It's okay. I'll buy you boba later.
I'm 26, by the way.
But yeah, we'll talk about some relationships, just to kind of show you guys or tell you guys about how we do things. I don't know, like how do you do things?
I just exist, and I don't know.
Okay, so where do you meet people? Like, where do you go to meet people, or like someone to date?
Danny, have you seen my skin tone? Does it look like I go outside?
I know. I mean, you can still use dating apps. So like
okay.
For me, it would be like Hinge.
Well, serious talk. I used to use Tinder way back when it first started. That's how I met you, actually.
Back in the Stone Age.
Mm-hmm. And then there was like, those gay dating apps. Well, are they really dating apps or are they more like sex apps?
Grindr.
Jack'd. Jack'd was my favorite because it had a filter and like, I don't know, people actually posted pictures of their faces.
Jack'd was actually pretty fun. Like,
yeah.
Because like you're able to see where they are, like how close they are to you.
And there's 3 pictures to choose from instead of just one fucking ab picture. Yeah. So that's why I liked it.
I mean, there were some times where like when you're using Jack'd, right, the person will be like literally next to you. Like you're looking on the app and you're like 1.01
okay.
something away from you.
Yeah, I hated that part of it because when I had Jack, there was this one person who was probably a neighbor or something. He saw like how close I was, and then like he would message me and be like, "Oh, you live close by." And then like when one of my friends would come over who also had Jack, by the way, we were just platonic friends, and he was just like, "Oh, are you hanging out with this person?" And it was so creepy. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, and no to dating apps after that.
Yeah, that's the creepy part. You can get stalkers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I still think it's pretty fun. People don't use it as much anymore.
Well, I mean,
Well,
I haven't used.
Or maybe we're just old. We don't use it anymore.
Maybe, but
yeah.
Haven't you been using dating apps recently?
I only used Hinge, Tinder, and I'm actually using one more right now.
One more? Which one?
OkCupid.
OkCupid? Oh, I was on that before too.
Yeah, I used it back in like 2013 or so, and now I just downloaded it again, and they changed their interface and stuff.
How's it like now?
So it's almost similar to like Tinder and Hinge, where you swipe, but their algorithm kind of like matches you with how they answer certain questions and stuff. And I don't know, I feel like there's less people on OkCupid.
I assume so, because it was still less people back then too when I used it.
Yeah, so. So I say like Tinder and Hinge. I think Hinge is like number 1. Like for straight or gay, I think Hinge is number 1 on my list.
Why?
Because like you can actually search by different preferences, like ethnicity. So like if you're not into like a certain ethnicity or something, you can just change it.
Why are you racist, Danny?
No, I'm not.
Everyone is equal, okay?
I'm just saying, you already know like majority of our friends and stuff, they like to date other Asians because of the cultural
yes
similarity.
Yeah, I don't worry. I know he's not racist. I just needed him to explain to you guys before he gets canceled. Because I will be the first one to cancel
me.
him.
Don't cancel me. So, on a first date, are they allowed to smash or no?
If the chemistry's right, yeah, they're allowed to smash. Because I think usually I'm the one that instigates the smashing. Well, because, like, one, I'm alone most of the time, so, like, it's very rare for me to interact with anyone that stimulates me both physically and mentally. So if they got that all down, I'm, like, ready to smash, like, the first night. And that's how I know, like, yeah, you're a cool person. Will I like them later? Well, we'll find out after, I finish.
He's very wholesome, guys. Don't worry, he's very wholesome.
Yeah, but because I'm very wholesome, even though it may sound like I sleep around a lot, I actually do not. Like, I would say I sleep around, like, once a year, and even then it's with someone I've already know closely or have been in a relationship, which is kind of bad. Yeah, so that's why. Yeah. What makes me me.
I think, like, for me, it's very hard to. I can't smash on the first date because I have to get to know the person. Like, I have to know you for a while first before I, move on to that, and, like, so majority of my smashing is people I got into relationships with. Majority of the time.
Really? So you never smashed before a relationship?
Only a few.
Only a few?
Yeah.
Like, what made them different?
But then it was because, like, I became, like, super close friends with them, or, like, I just, like, know them.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you would fuck your friends?
I knew where this was going. No, but the friends that I hang out with, I have not smashed them.
To make it clear, we have never smashed or anywhere near smashed.
Yes, they're probably thinking that right now. No, but yeah, I have never.
But Danny, anyone who appears on the same screen of YouTube, they've clearly smashed, right? Isn't that how YouTube works?
Wait, what?
No, cause, like, I always see the comment section, like, where, like they'll be, like, vlogging, like, friends and stuff, right? And everyone would, like, either ship them or think, like, oh, you see that? They're looking at each other intimately.
Oh,
they
yeah,
must be smashing. Oh, snap, they're sitting next to each other. Oh, shit, they must be doing something.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. One of your worst dates, have you ever had one?
My worst dates?
Yeah, worst dates.
I don't remember any bad dates. Because if I did, it would have traumatized me. So I clearly don't remember any bad dates. Every date I had has been pretty good. And so maybe I haven't remembered any bad dates because I never thought of them as dates.
Oh.
Yeah, because, So Danny knows this about me, but I can never tell if someone's into me.
He cocksblocks himself.
Yeah, like,
all the time.
I will be, like, thinking, oh, we're just, like, good friends and stuff, and then one day they'll either, like, be mad or straight up tell me that, like, I like you, right? And I was like, as a friend, like, yeah, I like you too, And then he's like, no, I want to date you, and I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, not intrigued. But also, there were other times when, like, my friends, like Danny would see it from an outside perspective, and then later on when they leave, he'll tell me, he's into you, right? And I was like, what? No, he's not. We're just friends. And then later on, I'll find out, oh, okay, whoops. But yeah.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
And that's why I've been single for so long.
Yeah.
I haven't been single for 25 years, like I said before. It's just collectively it would be 25 years.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think I had a bad date where, like, I hung out with this person and we were eating dinner, and I just couldn't get any words in. Like, it was all him talking about himself.
Wait, so like, were you shy or was he more a narcissistic person?
No, I don't know. It's just like the whole conversation was just about himself.
So
Like,
he
you
was
just
bragging?
Yeah, kind of like bragging. But I'm like, okay. Yeah, you know, like just, you know, the whole time, just like. Meanwhile, like, I guess at the same time, I guess I'm a little shy. You know, every date you're kind of shy, right? But like, I'm just like eating the food. He's not eating. Like, the food's in front of him, but he's not eating, and I'm just like. I think at that point I'm like, okay, I better hurry the freak up. Just like finish this.
Do you think maybe he's like chalking a lot so he doesn't eat so he could smash?
I don't think it would get to that point. I think after we ate, like, it was a more of like, oh, you know, that was fun, you know, maybe I'll see you again or something like that, you know. But yeah, there wasn't any, and it didn't seem like there was an intention to, you know, try to hang out that night. How do you don't initiate that? You don't ever initiate like, oh, let's hang out later tonight, or like let's continue hanging, you know, like
what do you mean, like ask them for a second date, or like ask them,
I guess,
you
like,
want to hang out at my place or something?
yeah, like hang out at my place, or
I
you
do
know.
that. I think of them as a friend.
I think, like, for me, I guess I can't say that because, like, I don't have like my own place, you know.
I mean, it's at my parents' house too, but I guess you don't have a private area.
Yeah, I don't have like a private area in my house, so like I'm still living with my parents, so I can't just like, oh yeah, come over, blah blah blah, you know. And then my parents would be like, who dat? You know. But that's why, like, if I ever bring anyone over, it has to be someone that I've known for a while.
That's good.
So I can't. Well, I mean, now COVID's going on, so you can't really bring anyone at all. So
yeah, you can. You could just go on Zoom now and be like, hey, welcome to my crib.
Gross.
Just like what you guys are doing right now. Welcome to my crib. This is my patio.
No. How do you know when you like someone? Like, is there anything about you that you'll know for sure that you like that person?
For me, it starts off pretty obvious for everyone. I think it starts off physically. Like, first, I'm attractive to like their aesthetic. I think for me more is because I'm an artist, so I'm attracted to things that are like aesthetically pleasing to look at.
So are you saying if that person didn't dress nice at all? Let's say like the first date, it was just like almost borderline like pajamas type.
That's me though.
Oh, okay, no, that's him though. He's always in his pajamas.
Yeah, like literally these pants are my pajamas, and under my hoodie. Okay, before filming, you guys, I was like, I need to look presentable. Like, I'm literally just wearing my pajamas t-shirt right now, so I just put over a hoodie, and I'm like, all right, we're good to go.
You guys should have seen him in college. Like, he was like hobo status, like, all the time.
Well, yeah, I was there to like get to school, do my homework project.
I mean, you want to impress some of the boys.
What boys? I wanted to sleep.
We were in college though. There was so many guys.
So many non-attractive guys to me. Remember? Okay. So don't at me because this was my school and I'm including myself in this is statistics, but people in Fullerton are not as attractive compared to like people in, for example, Long Beach, UCI. We're talking about like the Asian people here.
Why is that?
Because I'm not sure why, but I feel like they keep themselves presentable more or like look more professional in a way. And in Fullerton, you're more people there. People who mainly go there are like one, they're there for a business major, and if they're not for a business major, they're there to it's like a more affordable alternative to get a good education. And that's why I went.
I want to add, so because Cal State Fullerton is they call it like a commuter, like a commuter college. So like people just go there and they don't stay there. Like right after they're done with class, they leave.
Yeah, I was one of those people.
So that was me too. Like I didn't stay after school, so yeah, I understand what you mean by that.
Yeah, so like literally I came in my pajamas, like I would go to class, and then if I had another class, I would go to like where my VSA club hangout spot was. I literally brought a sleeping bag and pillow every fucking day just to sleep in that area because I knew it'd be safe until my next class, and then wake up, do it over again. And
I think there were times where you brought a blanket, right, to school too?
That was my sleeping bag. I even had a Pikachu pillow pet, which it's right over here. I'll show you guys.
Oh my god. Yeah, can you guys imagine like what he was like in college?
Like, I brought this to school every fucking day because I wanted to use this to, like, if there was no ground spots, I would literally go on a table, put this in front of me, and be like this, and hoodie over so I could sleep correctly. And this is like a side note for people who like want a super quiet place that I could sleep on desk. The third floor, was it the third floor of the library? It was like
like the third floor.
The third floor of the library is like a quiet zone, and you can't hang with groups of people. It's only one person. Like you can only be with yourself, and all the desks are like covered in borders. I would go up there, take one of those desks, put Pikachu in front of me, and knock the fuck out. And that was my college career. I did not even look like this. Like this is me being better than the college dude.
Yeah, he looked much worse back
then. In college, I would always wear snapbacks and beanies because I did not want to do my hair, and I never wore contacts. I would just wear my glasses, and so I'm literally straight up looking like an Asian dad every time.
Yeah.
And then if I ever get invited to like a party for VSA or something, I would go there. And then once I get to the door, people would be like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "It's me, Hieu. This is just me at night."
Yeah, some people would not recognize you. Like his friends would not recognize him.
I don't think you recognize me.
Sometimes.
Yeah, like you would be like, "Who the fuck's that?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you date anyone at the same school?
Same school?
Yeah.
Not that I recall. I don't think I did. Like, the only person I met from school was you, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is more a question for you, because I know you.
Yeah, I did.
How was that like?
2 people, I think.
I remember. Yeah.
They're in the same fraternity, too.
Oh, really? Oh.
A5O.
A. I'm not gonna
Okay,
say
no.
I won't
Okay,
say
next question.
No, you have to explain.
What? Explain what?
You have to tell your story about it. Like, well, I asked you what it's like, and now you're gonna say what.
Well, I mean, like, I dated. I mean, one of them was like a long time ago. Was it before? It was before I went to Cal State Fullerton.
I didn't know you before Cal State Fullerton. I knew you during Cal State Fullerton.
Okay, maybe I did, but I didn't. That's weird because I don't remember hanging out with my ex at school.
I remember the one that started with an A.
Yeah. So yeah, but like I never hung out with him at school, so that means that it might have been it was something. I don't think it was during that time or something. I don't know. But we ended up going to the same school.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that.
Okay.
And then I dated someone, I dated someone else that was in that fraternity, and then, like, I don't know, I just felt like I didn't want to be so, like, social, but since they're in, like, a fraternity, it was just, like, literally, I only dated that person for like 2 weeks or something, but I met so many people. Like, it was like overwhelming, you know? I'm like, oh my god, I had to like, yeah, it was just too much. I just couldn't. Sometimes like, some people think like I'm an extrovert, but like, I think I'm more introverted, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes I want to be an extrovert, but if I'm meeting so many people in like a span of like 2 weeks, I just like, there's too much anxiety, you know?
Yeah, and an example of how introverted we both are. I invited Danny to go to Big Bear for our VSA trip one time, and our club would have like these group activity things where everyone had to do it. Me and him, we were so like introverted and like just exhausted. We just literally just sat by ourselves in our rooms, just like
we didn't
chilling.
want to participate.
Yeah, we didn't even talk to each other. We were just like chilling.
Yeah.
It was like we were just introverted, tired, right?
Yeah, it was like 50 people or something. 50 people in a cabin.
Yeah.
And it was kind of strange. Like, it was like different groups in the cabin, like different cliques. Yeah.
Yeah. And
So-
we had our own clique inside our bedroom.
Yeah.
Doing nothing.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Next question.
How do you know when you fall in love with someone?
Oh, that's a rough question.
I know it hits home right here.
Oh yeah, we haven't even finished that one question where you're like, how do you know if you like someone too? But anyways,
Yeah, how do you know if you love someone? Let's do that one.
so
first.
we're doing this one.
Yeah.
This took like a lot of experience, or I guess life experience, in order to me to finally figure out how I did love like these individuals. And I'm not saying like just relationship wise, or just like someone I would consider my boyfriend or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a lot more to it.
Like I would consider I love Danny because he's like a close friend, and like.
But I feel like there's even stronger feelings than that.
This is a very subtle one. Like, is if they pop up into my head, like I randomly think about them, not in like, oh, I'm like infatuated with them, because remember, this isn't just like for people relationship. It's like thinking like, oh yeah, I haven't like spoken to them for a while. I wonder if they're doing okay. I want to check up on them. So like I would text them, hey, what's up? A second one would be like, if I were to lose them as a friend or something, will I be sad about it? As in like, will I be sad that they're gone, or happy that, like, be okay with it? As in like, be okay that they, knowing the fact that they don't need me in their life anymore. As in, me leaving will give them room for growth, which is what happened between us. Like when we broke up as friends, there was a time where like Danny and I I don't want to say it was a fight. It was more like just
A break
from each other.
Yeah, we didn't talk to each other for a whole year.
Yeah, and like it wasn't a bad fight when we broke up. It was just that there was things that he was upset about with me, and there was stuff that I was well, I don't think I was really upset about anything with you, because I totally understood why you were upset too. So I was like, hey, like, if you need it, we could stop being friends. Like, yeah, and then we'd stopped being friends for a bit, and that actually allowed us both to grow as individuals. Like, because I knew back when I was his friend for that time period, I had really no other friends, so I was completely relying on him for that, like, support, like, whether it be emotional support, and, like, all these things that he should not be responsible for. So, because of that, he was allowed to make more friends, and I was able to do the same thing. And because of that, we both grew as each other, as people, and then we eventually became friends again, because we crossed paths again, and we were healed, I guess, in a way, and stronger individually. So That's how I knew I loved Danny. Like,
how did we cross paths again? Was it at a club?
Yeah, it was at a club.
Yeah, we crossed paths again at a club.
I didn't know if you were still mad at me, so I literally came up to Robin. Robin's
yes,
a mutual
I
friend,
remember
and
that.
I was like, "Hey, take care of Danny for me," because I still care about him. And then Robin was the one that brought us together and be like, "Hey, you guys should need to have to talk now." I was like, "Okay,
yeah, you guys fix this now."
yeah, and that's what happened.
Yeah, imagine we were both at the club, and like we weren't talking to each other, and then he initiated. He talked to one of my friends saying like, watch over me or like to take care of me that night at the club, and then my friend told me about it, and then so we kind of made up.
Yeah.
At the club.
And look where we are now. We're like better friends since before, even way better than before. So yeah, so that's like one of the good indicators that you love this individual, where like even though you're broken apart, you still care for each other, and you're willing to sacrifice your time together, or like sacrifice like a relationship or connection with each other in order for the individual to grow. So that's one of the main things I believe is a good indication of love.
Don't ever rely on someone else to be your source of happiness, because you're the one that's supposed to kind of create your own source of happiness, or like somehow be happy already, if that makes sense. So when you like meet someone and you're thinking of them as a potential like lover or something, they're not completing you. Like you're not missing a part and you're trying to find another missing piece. It's more of like they are gonna complement what you already have. Yeah. I have a good question. The next question. So I know how like how like we're both crazy, right?
Yeah.
There's a we're both pretty crazy. Even back then, crazy. More.
Oh yeah, for sure.
When did you realize you were crazy?
When did I
realize? What did you do, or like, what is it that you did, or like something that you realized or you saw in yourself, and then you're like, oh shit, I'm crazy.
Okay, one time, relationship, right? Like,
yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just when did you realize you were crazy?
One time, like, my boyfriend at the time, I have to remind myself not to call him my ex. My boyfriend at the time, like when we messaged each other to hang out at a specific time, right? And when that time came along, he did not text me or say anything, right? And this was like, I don't know if you guys, okay, this is for like the gay people out here, like, you know how like when you're planning to have sex, like you have to like do an entire satanic ritual in order for you to be prepared for it. And then, so I did that entire ritual, and I'm completely exhausted, but I'm like, you know what, I'm finally ready, I'm confident to do this now. And then I was waiting and calling, texting, and the boy never picks up. And because of that, I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, I'm fucking having sex today, no matter what. So literally, I went over to his house and was like knocking on his window. I was like, what the fuck? Like, you can't fucking do this to me. I fucking did all this work, so you cannot flake on me like this. Okay, and then at a certain point, obviously I gave up after 20 calls or something. and then later on, literally, as soon as I got home, I get a message from him saying, "Oh, I'm so fucking sorry, I fell asleep," and I was like, Maldi. I was like, are you fucking serious? I'm coming over right now. Because we're fucking no matter what.
Oh my god. Yeah.
And we did.
You're crazy.
And yeah, that's how I knew I was crazy. But I think I also learned that I'm only that crazy when you guys ever experienced hangry, the feeling of being hangry? Like
Yeah.
you're just angry because you're hungry and like you can't really control it. I was hangry, but like in that way. But I'm pretty sure some people will understand. If not, then I guess I'm just fucking crazy.
Hungry, horny. Oh my god.
But yeah.
Well, for me, I think it's more of like I didn't realize I was crazy until I got my ass dumped by someone, and I think it was like how would you like it if you were working and like your, I guess, boyfriend at the time kept showing up?
Oh, I'd be mad.
Exactly, right? So I did that like, okay, it was a long time ago, I was crazy, okay? Keep in mind, like, my boyfriend at the time, I think, lived 45 minutes away. And I think I showed up to his workplace like 3 days in a row.
How clingy were you, man?
I was clingy, okay? I was very clingy and so yeah, that's when I realized I'm like, oh, after I got dumped, I'm like, okay, that's freaking crazy. That's freaking crazy. Like, you don't show up to someone's workplace like 3 days in a row because they live freaking like far, like 45 minutes away. You don't do that without telling them.
Yeah.
Like
without
telling them. That's the crazy part. Like, I mean, you would understand it. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come visit. You know, you let them know. No.
Yeah.
No. And then I got my ass dumped, and then I'm like, after thinking about it now, I'm like, okay, I'm crazy.
Yeah, and that's what you call growth, you guys. Everyone's crazy when they first start out. Like, don't judge yourself harshly when it happens, or you'll learn and get better over time.
Yeah, I think like your first 1 or 2 relationships, you'll learn a lot about yourself and how crazy you are. And then later on, once you gain more experience on relationships, you'll know what not to do.
But you'll also make even more crazy mistakes that you didn't realize at the time.
Yeah, because you're already alert on most of your crazy stuff that you knew about, but then there are other crazy things that you'll do that you won't realize until later on.
Yeah, so it's always an ongoing process. You just need to find someone that understands you're crazy, also you understand they're crazy, and you always have to willingly make the conscious decision every day that I am willing to work with this person, like every fucking day. It's like a group project.
Yeah. How did you get over your saddest like breakup? Like, I know there are breakups where like you don't just get over it in a day, like I personally, like, one of my breakups, it took like a 1.5 years to get over. So what is it that you did that kind of helped you kind of get over that? Or like, yeah, pretty much. What is it that you did that helped you get over that? Because I know you probably had a kind of like a breakup that took you a really long time to heal as well.
Yeah. If I'm being real honest, I still haven't healed from that not breakup. But
I can go first if you want.
Yeah, can you?
Yeah, so I think like majority of, I guess for me, like it really helps to listen to music. Like, music is like my thing. So like I really, really enjoy listening to music, especially late night. And like you're just blasting it. I'm gonna go deaf one day. Most likely I'm gonna go deaf one day. But I enjoy listening to music. I think another one is like I was somewhat kind of I think most of my relationships, I'm kind of like dependent on that person, kind of. So like when I break up, like I usually don't do things by myself. Like it's really hard for me to do things by myself, but I slowly transitioned to kind of like forcing myself to do things on my own and enjoying my own company. So like I have never done this before, but like it was like the last year where I took my skateboard and then I went to the beach just by myself and just skated for like 2 hours or so. I just skated back and forth from pier to pier. And then I went to the park by myself, just, checking out the ducks. I don't know what else I did. And then I started going get boba by myself. I started doing all these things by myself. I just didn't feel like I needed to, text anyone to go hang out. It's like I'm enjoying my own company and like I didn't feel lonely at all. So there was that. I think I needed a lot of time to realize that the relationship was over. There was a time where I'm like, maybe we'll get back together. Maybe there's a chance. There's something like that. But then you kind of have to go through the process of kind of like making yourself realize that it's over now. Like you need to experience everything with your friends, to go experience things on your own. That's why I'm getting to the point where I'm like, dude, I want to start traveling by myself. So like I want to go to Vancouver, I want to go to New York, I want to go to Texas, like just random places, but I don't mind going on my own and then like meeting friends that live in Vancouver, friends that live in New York or whatever, So
yeah, like that's very true because even like this wasn't technically after my breakup, but like I kind of realized like after breaking up with like some of my exes, like the one thing that I would always like reflect on it. I was like, why am I so sad about this breakup? Cause like most of the time it was like very little interaction, or like it didn't last that long at all. And every time I reflected on it, it was always like, one, they were the people I was in relationships with, they were always the ones that brought me out to experience new things, or like take me out to like a date or something, or like have experience something that I would never experience on my own. And so when trying to get over these breakups, I guess I was like, you know what, like there are so many things I want to experience, but I keep stopping myself from experiencing these things because I keep wanting it to be with a significant other. How about I start like doing it on my own? So like I literally took myself to the movies one time to watch this movie I really wanted to see, and this is a movie that usually I would be like, oh, I need a significant other to watch this, but now I was like, no, I'm gonna go here to this movie by myself, watch it on my own. And I did. By the way, it was Jumanji, and it was amazing. I had the time of my life, and then I was like, that was really fun. Let's keep going with this like date with myself. And so like, okay, what do I want to do now? Oh, I want to eat all you could eat sushi, but don't you? Usually I would eat with friends for that. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna eat all you could eat sushi on my own. And when I got to the all you could eat sushi place, I was like, oh, it's just me. And then I was like, oh, because it's just me, I could sit at the bar and like you just get the sushi directly from the shop. And yeah, so that's what I did, and that was really fun. And I was able to entertain myself by watching YouTube. I didn't have to talk to anyone. I didn't have to do anything but like eat and just literally watch my phone on YouTube. Sorry, like that's really exciting for me because I'm such an introvert that like doing anything fun on my own is exciting, and that's where I started to learn that, hey, like I'm like starting to learn the things that I really love doing on my own. I'm starting to realize that these are hobbies and drives I like. Like, I love to draw a lot, so let's keep doing that. Oh, I want to learn dance. Let's do that. And I was literally experiencing all these things, learning new skills, doing all this stuff, and I got to a point where like I literally saw my own reflection in the mirror and was like, holy shit. If I were a different person, I'd want to fuck you right now. And like,
oh my god.
Even now, I am so in love with myself to the point that, well, no, I'm single, because like I can't imagine any other person that to hang out with that's more fun than me. And if you are that person, like Danny's one of those people. Like, I'm just like, oh, I really, really enjoy your company, so I do love you, and I do want to hang out with you. And whoever's gonna be my significant other one day, like, if that ever happens, and that person's gonna have to compete with me every fucking day. So if you could beat me by myself, then you're gonna be the one. But yeah, so that's how I got over like breakups or whatever, by learning to fall in love with myself, learning to have a relationship with myself. And yeah,
that's really like the definition of happiness to me. It's like you get to the point where like you're not really scared to be alone and you don't feel alone. Like, you are, better off on your own and by yourself, and you're enjoying things that you do by yourself, like, like I see like a lot of people, they're very sad and lonely by themselves, but then like, it just takes a lot of time to grow, reflect on yourself, and then kind of like just start enjoying things by yourself.
I feel like this podcast should be, like, this episode should be called How to Be Alone 101. How to Be a Loner.
That's true. Yeah, that's gonna be the title now. Yeah, How to Be Alone 101.
Yeah, so I guess that's it, right?
Yeah, I hope you guys find any of this informative, I guess.
I sure hope so. I poured my heart out to you guys.
They're probably watching this. Wow, this is just sad.
I'm a sad boy.
But yeah, thanks guys for listening. Thanks Hieu for being in the video.
Thanks for inviting me.
But I hope you guys enjoy what we were talking about.
Bye.
And we'll see you guys next time in another video.
Bye.
Bye.